as I said, remember the mic. We are going to call to order the June 18th Urban Enterprise Association meeting. If we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, welcome everybody. Do we have any public comment? Any public comment? Hearing none, we are going to move to minutes. Everyone should have the minutes in their packet. I'll enter.
Motion to approve the minutes from May 21st as presented.
I'll second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, claims docket. That is in your packet here. It was in your packet emailed as well. You want to go through that real quick? Yep. I know it's really one thing that's out of, yeah.
Okay, the claim docket. There's nothing unusual about it. Boiler Holdings is getting their first grant payment for the windows that they had installed at the front of the building. And in your board packet that I emailed out, there were pictures, a couple photos of the windows, so you had some idea as to what it looked like. And then the Kiwanis Club is requesting we're doing the payment that was for the Community Enhancement Grant that was approved last month for the 4th of July parade.
And boilers being paid directly to,
I made the check out to Boiler Holdings.
didn't they want it paid to?
There was nothing in an email that said that.
Just go through that. I thought in the email that it was, they wanted it.
Okay.
I thought the contractor was expecting the payment to them, but maybe not. If not, that's fine.
Mary Ann, am I correct in, I think Nick Minnick, city engineer, was going to inspect the windows, make sure, I think we have that in the agreement. Did he do that?
He didn't do it, but building inspection went out.
Okay, gotcha.
And I have a copy of the building permit. There was one that was pulled, and Dan Drake did the building inspection for the windows, and they meet with code.
Yeah. I'll try to look at that email as well. I think that they said that they paid a portion and the contractor was going to hold out, but
I don't have
wrong, so.
proof that they paid anything.
Right. Well, they just sent the invoice.
They just sent an invoice, but it
Right.
doesn't show anything being paid.
Okay. All right. I'll entertain a motion for approval on the claim doc.
A motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Claim docket is approved. We are moving on to financial statements. And I think at this time, I think we were talking, Mary Ann, anything on the encumbered funds that need to be addressed? I see Lincoln Walk starting.
Right, I have no invoice from the city for Lincoln Walk. Rural King is paid out. The special grant to the YMCA is paid out. The $1,500 for the downtown art projects will be paid next year. That is for the sculpture at Plaza 618. Parks Department grant hasn't started yet, and Lincoln Walk, I don't know if it's fully underway, but it will be shortly.
Okay.
There's a sample of what it's to look like. Is it on State Street?
It's on state. correct.
State and Jackson. somewhere like that.
So we're starting to get through all of these then. So most of the encumbered stuff is starting to get paid out, which is
Yes.
good. That was the intent, so. All right, otherwise, I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. We did pay. Oh, I think that's it.
Farmed and Forged is paid.
Yep.
That was paid at the end of last year for this year.
Okay. All right. I'll entertain a motion on the financial statements.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Somebody,
Who seconded?
I did.
we're not sure.
We all did.
Flip for it. Arm wrestle.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, the public, we can welcome our new, in old business, welcome our new board member, Bill Gertner. He's been on for a couple months, had a conflict last month, so he is with Horizon Bank. He's a business representative for the zone, and he is a mayoral appointment, I believe. Mary Ann?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. I always got to correct myself. Any words you want to say, Bill? Are you just happy to be here, or what?
Pleasure to be here and be a part of the team.
So welcome aboard, Bill. Updates on the UEA logo. I think we talked about getting that out.
I apologize, I haven't done anything with that.
Okay, but you're.
I need to know, do you want a completely new logo, or do you want to use the existing?
I think that the question last month was to get with Jess,
Right.
get her opinion on what her thoughts are.
Okay.
I think we just want a formatable logo that we can actually use and upload and share in different formats and those kind of things. The other one we have is very old and antiquated, and we have issues with. It's sort of detailed as well.
It's not a PDF, it's not a JPEG.
But if it can be recreated as is, I mean, we don't want to recreate the wheel, but I mean,
Okay.
yeah. Also digitizing the files, where are we at on that?
I've started going through the old files. I've gotten through 2 drawers, and I have maybe 16, 18 left to go.
18 drawers left? So are we, just to get to find out what needs to be
To
digitized?
find out quantities,
Okay,
to see, so I can give the 2 companies a quantity so they can requote digitizing.
okay.
And
And the rest you're just shredding,
the
right?
rest will be shredded, yes.
Or do we have a time frame on that, I mean, at 2 boxes in the
Probably
last
in
2 months, we're probably
5
looking.
years? No,
Is this becoming more of an issue than a,
it's just finding the time.
okay.
Wouldn't it, it seems like a lot of work to go through everything. Wouldn't it make more sense to just go ahead and digitize it all and then get rid of it?
That's what I'm thinking like, well, are we gonna save that much money?
Do you, I mean,
If you can breeze through, I guess to Bert's point, if you can breeze through and if you know there's files that are way past its date, let's just get rid of them and only the stuff, because we're only digitizing the stuff within the last 5
Right.
years, right?
Right.
within the last 5 years.
So are they not, they're not organized by year then, I'm assuming? Okay.
No.
I think it's a poor use of time to have somebody sit and look through all those. I would just say then digitize it all. We'll have copies of all of it. I know you mentioned at the last meeting, you're gonna pull out, enabling documentation, anything, any
Like any corporate,
historical, right?
Right.
So pull that out, digitize everything, and then I think get rid of the things that are older than 5 years.
And to be honest with you, even if we digitize everything, it's not gonna even matter. Some of that corporate stuff is going to be digitized. It'll just be electronic, which is fine. we could probably get our entity docs off the state website anyway. So I agree. I mean, we're going to
Okay,
pay you
well,
more
I'll
in time and
call
effort than we are going to.
The company that was the lowest, that submitted the lowest quote, and, which I think was in the $6,000 range.
Yeah, let's book them.
The other one was in the $8,000 range.
Unless the board has objection, let's get it done. Yeah, because it could be a
I mean, we're
while.
talking 23 years worth of records.
Yep, and then we'll figure it out from there. So yes,
Okay.
let's move that. We already approved the budget, I think, so we don't need to approve that. Get that. And then the logo, let's get an answer from Jess, if there's anything in between now and next meeting, which is 2 months. Get with me on if she has questions specific to what we want to do on the logo.
Okay.
New business, any other old business? Discussion on new business, discussion on action on 2025 business grant for Downtown Law LLC, 607 Jefferson. Do you want to?
That's a business grant application. And the application and photos were included in your board packet that was electronically delivered. And they're asking for $10,000. It's going to be a law office for Burke Costanza. I'm not sure what the rest of their name is.
And Burke can probably add some insight. I think he talked on it. It's around the corner by Fifth Third here.
It's just
over
in the
there,
next
in that
block,
corner. That used
across
to be
from the
old-
drive-through of,
Used to be the old escape
Fifth
room,
Third.
if you remember that building, so.
and the money, the grant will be used for exterior renovations. And I sent a rendering in the board packet. Burke, Costanza, and Carberry.
I don't, Marion, I don't have a ton of specifics on what is included in the grant request. I did talk to both the company and their contractor, I think is Larson Danielson, that they'd like to select, who was helping fill that application out. If I remember right, a lot of the discussion centered around, it's a relatively large project early on. They were asking for 2 years of grant funding and then agreeing that they would not reapply in the coming year, which was the only deviation that I really noted from the very traditional grant that we apply. So I think, I don't know if that's what it says on the application, but I know that was the expectation.
They put $20,000 for total grant amount requested. The amount requested is to be 50% of the total project amount, not to exceed $10,000. And then the quotes, they submitted 2 quotes. One from One Source Remodeling, the other one was Larson Danielson, and Larson Danielson is the lowest.
And what the total amount was what?
$60,440.
Right, so the project, it's a sizable project that probably will be extended, so the conversation was to have, hey, rather than come back to do an additional grant for part of the project, which we've done in the past, they just won't be able to apply next year, so they can get the whole project done. It's seems worthwhile in terms of what they're asking, but.
Yeah, I'm looking at the application, Marianne. I see it as 20,000. Total grant amount requested is 20,000.
Right, they're requesting 20.
On a $60,000 investment that they're
Right.
making, yeah, okay.
That's a certain amount of deviation from what we usually do. Should we request a third quote?
I know the issue with the quotes was they called me numerous times asking for who else they might try. So-
Most of the applicants have difficulty getting one quote.
I did, Ryan, just so you're aware, when the first conversation I had with them was, we may only get one quote. I did say almost verbatim what you just said, which is,
I think we bump up against the question pretty often, so we probably should just readdress it every time, because for some people, is very difficult. Feldco will come out like next day, just so you know. It doesn't do anything for it, Feldco. Oh, they're predatory.
Oh,
Oh,
I was like 1-800-FELCO. So yeah, I mean, and I think traditionally, and Bill, for your information as well, I mean, if we want to get 2 quotes, which they've got and satisfied, but ultimately, sometimes, as you probably know, contractors are hard to lock down at different points, so we at least went 2, we're looking for 3 local contractors. But I'm fine with it. I mean, it's a building, I saw the project, it's gonna be an enhancement to that building. That building's been vacant for a while.
downstairs is vacant. There's a couple tenants
Yeah.
upstairs.
The downstairs has been vacant probably since the escape room was there, I would imagine. That's been a handful of years at least, so.
And Bill, not just for your benefit, but for those that watch our meetings, so the typical grant is a $10,000 matching grant. The idea that the company would do half the project this year, collecting the grant, and then have to wait, 6 or 8 months and reapply and do the second half of the project, does that really, my thinking at least is, does that really serve our intent or theirs, right? All we're doing is delaying, a project. And so in these instances, I don't think it happens often, but periodically we have a project like that that asks for, can we access 2 years of grant funding, and then we'll agree that we will not reapply for funding. And so if we approve it, Mary Ann typically, within their award letter, notes that, they're getting 2 years worth of funding and they're not eligible in the coming year, which is how we've handled it in the past.
And it actually ends up being less than 50%, so when you look at it, 60-some thousand, it's only 20,000, so it's less than 50% reimbursement, which we would do over the 2-year period anyway, so.
Would that then mean that 20,000 is paid out at the completion of the entire project?
Yeah, same parameters as the rest, so they have to
Alright.
finish, they have to pay their contractors.
There's no
and then they
additional
get-
risk there then.
Right.
So.
Yeah, the reimbursement grant for this one. If there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I'll motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that grant passes. Discussion action on community enhancement grant, just a community enhancement grant for basically Lake Fest, which is a $500 request. Seems like it fits all the parameters there. I'll entertain a motion for that one as well.
I'll make a motion to approve the 500.
Motion a second. All in favor?
Aye.
This
And
will be the Lake Fest portion. This will support Lake Fest that's taken place at Fox Park, because
Okay.
that's in the enterprise zone.
Thank you for clarifying, yes. So it's, since Lake Fest does have activities outside the zone, it will be for the events at Fox Park. Thanks for that, Mary Ann. Any other new business for today? Other business, just real quick, Mary Ann and I met with Katie Wren and Bill
Taft.
Taft, who are consultants working on behalf of Unity Foundation, and they have funding for upper story housing. So the idea and what we're entertaining on their behalf, and hopefully to parlay on our behalf, if we get grant requests that meet the qualifications of upper story housing development. So if we have a building owner, and this is for the public to know as well, if there's a building owner that is making significant improvement to a space in the downtown area that is adding a housing aspect to that project, then they are willing to come in and support it with additional funding on top of our grant, or either in coordination with our grant to help the project succeed. So we want to look at those special projects as they come across our desk, and as you get applications, Mary Ann is going to actually look at them and see which ones may qualify. We may pull them in to see if it fits their guidelines and parameters for their program. And they've got a significant amount of money that could probably either help what we thought about 4 or 5 or 6 projects that over the next, and they need to expend those funds in the next 2.5 years. So we're going to be looking through that. So it's just an additional opportunity to help get some of those upper story buildings housed.
Just to get them rehabbed,
Yep.
to assist with rehabilitation and,
And that's part of our
Filled.
focus of our grant anyways, is after we expanded it from just being facade-based improvements to interior, exterior, and all the above. So just another organization willing to help. So that is that. Any questions? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved?
Give Bill that one on his first meeting. All right. Anybody opposed? We are adjourned.